Happy Wife, Happy Life.
We're your hosts. I'm Kendahl Landreth.
And I'm Jordan Myrick.
And we are two incredibly unqualified,
but deeply in love comedians who are here to help you with all things relationships. And on today's episode, we're talking famous couple characters.
I love in this position I can touch you. I didn't even think about that.
Well, if you can't tell, we're hungover.
And my ankle's broken.
Her ankle's not broken. Kendahl.
It's severely sprained. This is what I'm going to tell you guys.
For those listening at home, Kendahl has her foot elevated on a chair. She's wearing big, bright socks. She's being very dramatic about it.
Okay, enough. I'm not being dramatic about it. You know I'll start crying if you say that because I literally hate when people say I'm being dramatic. I'm not. I have been told so many times I'm being dramatic, and then the doctor is like, actually, she has a broken arm. Actually, people never believe me. That never happened.
Yeah,
that's a lie. But I'm just saying other things. Like, people never believe me because they think I'm being dramatic. I'm not being dramatic. My ankle's not broken. But we went out the other night. Can I tell you guys?
The one time we never go out.
And can I tell you, it was actually embarrassing. It made me really question a lot of things because we went out and we were kind of like ready to party. Like, honestly, we're never like that. How many people came up to me, friends, being like, I'm so happy you guys are out, just like having fun. Oh, it's so good to see you letting loose a little bit. I was like, do people think we are losers?
I feel like we're loose all the time.
We're clearly not. Every person was like, can you believe Kendahl and Jordan came out? They never leave their house. Then the next day, well, and I'll get to this later, but I thought I broke my ankle. The next day, our wonderful friend Kelsey's driving us about to urgent cares. She goes, I just don't want you guys to think that because Kendahl broke her ankle, you guys aren't going to come out again. I was like, we are losers, Jordan. Everyone thinks we're losers.
That's fine because I can't feel like this again. This was days ago and I'm still hungover. I feel awful. I feel like I got hit by a bus.
You drank more than I did.
Yes, I did.
And I still feel a little hungover, but once again, it's days later. It was also one of those things. So after we leave, we're walking to get our Uber. But I think we walked to like our car and waited at our car to get the Uber.
Yeah, because this was a thing that we were supposed to go to for 2 hours. So we showed up and then we drove there. And then I was like, great, we'll be here for 2 hours. I'm not going to drink at all because I don't normally really drink. And then we will just leave. And then smash cut to 9 hours later, we're still there at this like all day party thing. I'm drunker than I've been since...
I've never seen you this drunk. I've never seen
high school. I'm like, oh my God.
Jordan was doing shots. We
actually can't talk about it.
Sorry, are you going to get sick, nauseous? Yeah. But my point is, so we wait at our car for our Uber while we're walking there.
Sorry, just to finish that thought so it made sense.
Yeah.
I realized I didn't finish it. We were walking back to our car so I could make sure it was in a place, because even drunk, I'm responsible. I made sure it wasn't in a place where it would get towed.
Okay.
So we walked back to our car, checked the parking signs, called an Uber.
Yeah. You have to understand. I mean, this is so out of Jordan and I's comfort zone. We've never done anything like this. It was so funny.
I don't even like taking Ubers.
It wasn't even that. I know. It wasn't even like that crazy. To Jordan and I, it felt like Rumspringa. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, we were like, we're being insane. All our friends were being like, you're really not being insane. We're like, no, we're on one right now. Everyone's like, you're really not. We're walking back to the car. I fall and I twist my ankle. It hurts so bad. It was one of those things. I was just saying this to John out there. I was like, you know when you're drunk and you do something that makes you seem so drunk, but you're like, that wasn't because I was drunk. And it's so embarrassing. Like when you're drunk and then you like spill your drink.
Oh, this is like when I got food poisoning. I guess I wasn't drunk during this, but it's a similar vibe of I got food poisoning one time at a music festival from eating a salad that had been in a backpack during the day. And then I got onto BART, which is the San Francisco subway.
Oh, and everyone was like, she's blackout
drunk. And I started
drunk.
throwing up, and I was like throwing up into my friend's backpack and then looking up and being like, I am not drunk. I am sick. Because for some reason I like didn't want people to think that I was drunk. I'm like, no one cares.
No, because it's embarrassing, but I get what you're saying. Like that's like, I remember, and that's why, because I feel like that's happened to me and it's also happened to people I'm with, where like we've had a couple glasses of wine and then someone spills their drink and they're immediately like, I'm sorry, I'm not drunk like that, but it feels so embarrassing. Yeah. And it felt the same thing. This felt like the same thing. I don't know. Listen, I was a level of drunk. It did not help me. And I can't speak to if I would have fallen or not if I hadn't been drunk. But it was on one of those LA streets where it's like, literally, there's clearly been an earthquake there 20 years ago, and it's just gotten worse and worse. And a tree root has grown underneath the sidewalk, and there's like a 5-foot drop off between. It's insane. I did fall there. I could have completely fallen fully sober. It hurt so bad. I also was drunk, so the pain was very bad, and that scared me because I was like, it's bad now, and I'm very drunk.
But
then,
also,
in the middle of the night, I get up, and I literally could not walk. That's what scared me. It's like, it's not like, oh, because now, but now I'm
sorry.
like sprained because no apologies yet because I'm in the middle of my sentence. So stop already arguing with me.
Whoa.
Now it's like, it hurts, but I can walk on it. That night and that next day, I could not walk on it. Could not. Like, my body would not allow me to. Now you can go ahead.
Thank you. You walked after you fell, and you were walking some, and this is just the thing.
But that's what I was saying, I was drunk. And that's what I was saying then when I got up in the middle of the night.
But you were still probably drunk in the middle of the night. And also, like, you were still, like... Whenever you get hurt or you're sick, for some reason, I feel like you only feel like it is validated if it's the worst case scenario of the thing. Mm-hmm. So it's like the second Kendahl fell down, she was like, my leg is broken. And I was like, no, it's not. It's literally not. I looked at it. There's no swelling, no bruising, whatever. It has like a little swelling now, but it's obviously just like twisted your ankle or sprained your ankle or something, which is like painful. I'm not negating that whatsoever, but I'm trying to be comforting in these scenarios. So Kendahl's like, I broke my leg, and I'm like, no, you didn't, don't worry. And she's like, what do you know? You're not a doctor. And
well, because sometimes it makes me feel, you know why? Because it makes me feel like I'm alone. Because I think I'm the only one who knows how bad this is. So when you say like, no, it's not broken, it makes me feel like you don't get how bad it hurts. But so I think sometimes I'm like,
hurt that aren't
I'm not like, if my leg's broken. Yeah, but it's the degree at which it hurts. I need you to be like,
what I'm saying.
No, but I need you to be like, this is what you can say next time.
Oh God.
Oh my God, you think it's broken? It must hurt so bad.
Got it.
Because I don't need anyone to diagnose me. It's also like, what do you think? Everyone's so freaked, and because Jordan's not the only one who does this. Everyone's like, it's not broken, it's not broken, it's not broken. What do you think? I'm going to make you do a surgery on it right here?
No, but
just validate that I'm in a lot of pain.
But everyone's valid. This is the thing. Everyone's validating that you're in pain. They don't have to make up a lie to validate that you're in pain.
Well, what about my toe last year? I broke my toe, and I did break it, and your mom told me it was broken. She's a doctor.
My mom says
it was broken. It was, Jordan. It was. And everybody said it wasn't. And it was.
Kendahl stubbed her toe. My mom says it sounds like it could have been broken.
Sounds like. She said it looked broken. She said it looks broken to me. But what? Just say it's broken. Happy wife, happy life. That's what we're doing here.
Okay. Your toe broke and your leg is broken.
No, I know my foot's not broken. But I think just in the moment being like, if you think it's broken, it must hurt really bad.
But I'm literally doing that. You're like on the ground. I'm like trying to pick you up, trying to help you. I'm like, what can I do? I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay? And then you're like, it's broken.
Be honest. You were laughing.
The first thing I did was laugh.
Were laughing.
No. The first thing I did was laugh, but I apologized immediately.
And you always laugh when I hurt myself because I do that.
Because you do a Homer Simpson noise when you hurt yourself. And you know that, and that's not fair to hold that against me. I always apologize immediately. I always start laughing and apologize. I say, I'm so sorry. How can I help you? What can I do? Because anytime Kendahl hurts herself, she goes like this. And it's very funny and it's very cartoonish, and I'm not made of steel. I'm not a statue. I have to have feelings and I have to express them, and it's very funny. But when you fell, and also what was funny is when you fell, I tried to catch you and you pushed me away.
You know what that's like?
What?
Get out!
If you even try to tell people that story, I swear to God, I'll sue you.
Okay, we'll move on.
You guys, that's all you get to know about that story. But anyway.
That was what it was giving.
For some reason I tried to catch Kendahl and then she fell. And it's similar to another thing that we can't talk about because it's too embarrassing for me. Kendahl.
Well, they already heard that part.
Listen, we're hungover. We're testy.
Dude.
Kendahl's leg is broken.
Thank you, baby.
Why? This is just the thing. I just want it to be seen as, if I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? That must hurt so bad. Let me help you. I was trying to pick you up and carry you, which I can do.
This is also a thing. Jordan is convinced. The confidence at which Jordan thinks they can pick me up and haul me around is insane.
But I can pick you up.
We went to a house showing the next day, and Jordan says, you don't need crutches. I can just carry you.
But I can pick you up.
You cannot pick me up and carry me around.
Yeah, I've done that before.
You've picked me up in certain scenarios, briefly.
No.
Wink. And
don't.
No. But you have never like bridal style picked me up and carried me through a home.
Yeah, but I could if I wanted to. I can pick you up, or I can put you on my back.
When I have a broken leg, is not the time to test that out. Unless I want a broken back as well. And I'm worried about hurting you. If you haven't stretched and you're lifting me, that's a lot.
The room is spinning.
What?
So the room is spinning.
What does that mean?
For me, I'm hungover. The room is spinning.
Oh God, is it really?
Yeah.
Is it that bad?
Yes.
But that feels really not good because this was
thank you, Kendahl. But Dr. Landreth. Oh, you're hungover and that sounds really not good.
No, but this far away from it, you're still dizzy?
That's my point. Something's wrong with me. That's why I can't drink.
No more drinking. We're sober now.
I never drink.
Also because we don't need it, honestly. Like, actually, like, I don't need it to have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm a hoot and a holler.
I know that's right.
We've never been drunk when we do this podcast, and we got the whole world listening.
Yeah, baby, we do. No, I just want you to know that even whether or not your leg is broken, I believe that it hurts.
Thank you.
But you just,
how
but I
bad
think
do you
you
think
just,
it hurts?
I know, but you just also have to be realistic because you'll be like, it's broken, and you're like literally standing on it. And I'm like, it's not broken if you're standing on it.
But that's what I don't like too. You're always trying to catch me. Like when I was in the shower, you're like, see, you're standing on it. I was like, okay,
I'm not
my
trying to
weight
catch
is
you.
not on my foot.
But I remember when I broke my elbow, I could not move my foot without being in excruciating pain.
When you broke your elbow, you couldn't move your foot without being...
because your whole body...
But you have to remember, I've broken a bone before.
Which one?
I broke my arm in 3 places. It was so bad. Literally, the cast run is like this. It was broken.
The cast was like what? You did normal cast shape?
No, this is the arm. It was my forearm. My forearm was like this. My mom still has it. She can show it to you.
I thought you were like, it's normal
like
cast
cheese.
shape. Oh, I love the way inside of a cast smells.
Especially
Isn't
when
that
it's
crazy?
30 years old.
It's because I broke my arms and stuff so much growing up, and the doctor that would do my casts looked like Wayne Brady. He was so handsome. I love it. I just remember like getting to be there, and I was so excited because I was getting my cast off, and my arm always felt so weird. I think it was probably like the closest thing I had to maybe what drugs felt like, because like your arm is all like tingly and weird. It's like you did like kava or something.
Yeah.
And I loved my doctor. He was so handsome. And then just the smell, I guess I associate all of that with. It's like salt and vinegar chips meets Parmesan cheese, but
It's
a little
dog's
bit funkier.
feet a little bit. The thing is, though, is that you're always comparing it to you shattered your elbow. And this is what I think sometimes you don't understand. You shattered your elbow. When I broke my arm that one time, it wasn't shattered, but it was severely broken. So yeah, I was like in full shock on the ground. But I think sometimes you forget, like, you can break something not so severely. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I could have broken my ankle, but like a small bone in my ankle that is like slightly broken. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, if I shattered my entire foot, I don't think I'd be able to walk to the Uber. Okay, you've checked out.
No, I'm just looking up symptoms for broken leg.
Oh my God. A broken leg? I didn't say a broken leg. I said a broken and not ankle.
You said broken leg a bunch of times.
Well, I'm joking. Okay,
this is the problem. But this is what I'm getting to. This is what I'm always scared of.
I don't
it's
think I have a broken
so
leg.
hard
I'm not an
to
idiot.
tell
You think I thought I have a broken leg?
It's so hard to tell Kendall's actual pain tolerance because it is so unclear, because you like to be kind of jokey about it. Like you like to be like, I'm in the worst pain that anyone's ever been in and I need so much attention, which is fine. But then I'm like, okay, well, should we go to the doctor? And you're like, no, stop. I don't want to go to the doctor. And I'm like, wait, how much pain are you in? And you're like, just like normal pain. And
Here's
I'm like,
what I'll say now with the foot.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to go to the doctor because I was genuinely concerned. And this is what I think it is. This is what irritates me. Not with you, but with I am silly. I get it. I'm a silly goose, okay? I get it. But
millennial coded.
I'm a silly little goose. Shiitake mushrooms. Can you say that?
Oh my God.
Did you ever say that?
No.
You didn't say that?
No.
Wow.
I wasn't a loser.
My sister used to say that.
Sorry, Madison.
She'd go, that's epic. Shiitake mushrooms, that's epic.
Epic was not a thing that I remember being that popular where I
Really?
grew up, even though I'm very much a millennial.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, Epic was not, I feel like, that big of a thing.
Here's what I'll say. I'm a silly goose. I'm epic, but I'm a silly goose. And I think that for me, I'm like, but when it comes down to it, I'm a very reasonable adult.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I am in a lot of pain and I'm being whatever, but I'm not going to make us go to the ER at 3 a.m. because I think I have even if it was broken, because I have a broken ankle. I'm like, everything's fine. I feel fine. So I think at the time I was being a very reasonable amount of stress where I was like, this is why I think we should go to urgent care in the morning. I cannot walk on it. It is swelling a little. I don't think my huge ankle bone, I don't know even the names of bones, but is broken, but I think some part of it could be. And my concern is that I have all these work things coming up this week. I can't not be able to walk. So worst case scenario, I need crutches to get me to and from whatever. Now I can walk on it a little bit. So I'm like, there's not really a ton they can do for a sprain. So I'm like, I elevate and I can limp around. It's not a big deal.
But this is what you're saying is so normal and so reasonable. This is not what you say.
But I want you to just trust that's inside me. I'm very normal and reasonable. And so
But you're like, I'm so scared. It's broken. What am I going to do?
Baby,
and I'm like,
Jordan.
It's not broken. And then you're like, don't say it's not broken. What do you know?
Whatever. I'm a baby.
It's so confusing.
Okay, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about couples.
Oh, I picked
couple characters. So these are, this is Kendall's idea. We had people write in, all of you write in famous couple characters, duos that you like.
And what made us start talking about this?
Heated rivalry.
Because we were like, who are we in heated rivalry? You guys, it's actually so funny. Heated rivalry is the exact type of thing I would like. I do like it. It's awesome. This is not the type of thing Jordan enjoys. Jordan's addicted.
I feel sick to my stomach about it.
Jordan loves heated rivalry.
I feel sick to my
You're their number one
stomach
fan.
about it. I don't know what it is.
Just hit you just right.
It just hit me just right. I think it's a combination of like gender stuff and queerness and just like it just hit me just right, and I'm obsessed with it. I can't stop thinking about it, unfortunately.
Sometimes something hits you. I'm telling you, when I saw Liv Houston in season 2 of Yellow Jackets, sometimes something just hits you, and it hit me so hard I like almost came out as non-binary because I was like, they look so awesome.
Yeah.
When something you're just like, I don't know what I want, but I want to be you is what I want.
Yes.
And then that, like, I think a lot of people in fandoms relate to this. It can make you really depressed because you're like, at that time I was like, I don't think I'll be happy until I am Liv Houston.
It's also crazy. I'm just like, yeah, you and I will never be like sexy boy hockey players.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. I know that's hard. That's like when you go see, you had this with the Elvis movie.
This one's really unwell.
But I think a lot of people, you'll see something. I saw, like when I go see a singer in concert, I go, I'll never be that. When I see a Broadway show, I'll never be that.
Yes.
And sometimes it just hits you just right where you're like, nothing makes me more sad. I wish my whole life was different so I could go and I could be, I feel this way when I watch ice skaters on the Olympics. Mm-hmm. Wish I could go back and change everything. I wish I could go back and I could
do that exactly.
And I could do that exact thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love my life.
Yes. I had that. I feel like the first time I really prominently had that was with that movie that I saw called Of an Age. It is
I remember that.
either, I can never remember if it's Australian or New Zealand. Hold on, let me tell you, because I feel like it's disrespectful not to know. But it is a gay coming of age movie from 2022. And it is...
I refuse to watch coming of age movies. They make me too sad.
I know. It really is.
I don't want to watch anyone
Where
coming
is
of
this
age.
movie from? Ugh, I hate not being able to find something quickly on the internet. I'm like,
but it's an international
what's the point?
Film.
It's an international film. I just want to give it the respect, you know? Hold on. Australian. Perfect. Thank you. It's an Australian coming of age film where like a guy ends up spending time with his best friend who's a girl's older brother.
Okay.
And it's very clear that they're both gay. And
did they know that in the beginning?
That's one of the big ones. It's in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. But basically, it's like the younger guy who's 18, he's about to graduate from high school. And he and his best friend do ballroom dancing together. And they have a big ballroom dancing competition, and he can't find her. And finally, he gets a call from her that's like, I'm on not the fully other side of Australia, but in like a totally different place. I'm like 4 hours away. You have to come get me. And we have to try to like make it to this ballroom dancing competition in time. She's like, my brother's in town. Don't tell my mom. My brother will drive you. And so she sends her brother to like go pick him up, and they're having fun banter and it's cute and whatever. And then there's like a box in the back seat. He's like, go grab one of the tapes out of the box in the back seat. And the younger guy's like going through the boxes, takes one out and puts it in. He was like, oh, these are cool. Like, where'd you get them? And the older guy's like, oh, they're my ex's. And the younger guy goes, I hope you don't mind, or I hope she won't mind us going through her stuff. And the older guy goes, he won't. And then you're like, oh, so the older guy's like out and gay. And the younger guy is closeted or doesn't know he's gay or whatever.
But he knows now. He knows
gay. Yeah. So they end up having like a torrid like 48-hour love affair that is so emotionally intense. And I left that movie.
You were not well after that.
I was sick to my stomach. I was more mentally ill than I am normally. I was like, I'm not okay. I went into work the next day. I sat in my boss's office. She was like, you seem more upset than I've ever seen you. What is wrong? And I was like, Justine, I'm scared. Something's happened. I watched this movie and I feel like it's like when you hear about people doing ecstasy.
No, I know.
And then come down from ecstasy and you're so
know.
depressed because it changed your brain chemistry. That's what that movie felt like to me. And I'm having that with Heated Rivalry a little bit, not as much, but still some. And then with the Elvis movie, it wasn't the same because it wasn't queer. I think queer stuff obviously hits harder with me than others. But with Elvis, I was like, whoa, it's just so crazy that I'll just like never be a famous male musician who like plays the guitar and is,
I mean, whatever. I have it with I read a book where one of them was a cursed god and they live on a pirate ship, and I got depressed when it was over. I was like, why am I not that?
Yeah.
And I'll never fucking be that. I'm an idiot. All I do is just stupid stuff. She's over there being a cursed god and on a pirate ship. It's just hard. But I think it's very common. So I think that's
it must be. I feel like there must be some kind of psychological terminology around it, or like what it does or how it how it encapsulates you. But
no, it does because it has no rhyme or reason. It's also like if you're in a bad place for some reason. Like I always joke about that, but when my dad died, whatever I was watching at that time, it was like I became obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Read fan fiction about it, and it's like. It's actually embarrassing for me to be saying this about Liv Houston because we're mutuals. So actually, this is embarrassing.
I'm
sorry, we're
brag.
mutuals. But there's nothing about them that I'm like, I want to be them specifically. But it was just like I was going through a bad time. Yellow Jackets came out. They're so cool. They play obviously a lesbian on the show. And so it just hit me just right. And I was like, I want to be Liv Houston.
Yeah.
So bad. And I'm like looking up fan edits, being like, not like, I think they're cool. I do, but being like, I wish I was them. It's
like
just
an
weird
envy thing. It's very weird.
It's weird.
And then add in a layer of like, because then I'm also having this with the Heated Rivalry Boys where I'm like, they're both actors in real life. I'm an actor. I'm like, am I doing enough in my acting career? Should I be doing XYZ? Will I ever be on something as beloved as this? And it's like, no, probably not. But for some reason, it really gets you in your feelings.
Yeah, but it's also you totally could be, because also it's like beloved by who? It's not like. I mean, it's a huge show, but stuff like that is just so random. You know what I mean? And absolutely. But I do think it's just normal. I also think it probably hit you less than that first movie because you've been through it before. Because I feel like the first time I really was obsessed with something, it made me really depressed.
Yeah,
I was like, what's going on? Yeah. And then you're like, oh, it's actually fine. But we were like, who's who? If you haven't seen Heated Rivalry, go watch it. But there's two men in it.
Yeah. Hollander and Rosenoff.
ILYA, Rosenoff, and Shane Hollander, right? Yeah. And what did we decide? I think the reason I thought this would be a fun episode is because I don't think it's as cut and dry. I think there's a lot of ways we're like the other one.
Yeah.
But it was just that we were having fun chatting about it. So I was like, I bet there's other couples and TV shows that we could chat about it with.
Yes. And just to answer this, I think that you have a charm that ILYA Rosenoff has.
That's actually, I'm so scared because that's so embarrassing. Me sitting here like this in my axolotl socks.
No, but
I have a very similar charm to one of the hottest men that's ever been on television.
No, but I think you're very naturally charming, like Connor Story, the actor, is.
And I think I'm silly. I think I don't get stressed.
You're very silly,
I'm very,
yes.
Like, whatever.
And I get stressed, and I'm more organized and more planned. So I think outwardly we present that way, but then I think privately I'm more
ILYA.
Rosenoff and you're more Hollander.
Yeah, I think so too.
And not just in a sex way, okay? Everyone relax.
Yeah, privately in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
At the cottage, we're very similar.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I think it's also because we were saying this too. I think it's so interesting. Not that you and I aren't genuine to who we are on the podcast. We are, or in life. But I also think something that's very strange and very real is I think and you can, well, I was going to be like, you can guess, but it's like so obvious what I'm going to say. Why would you guess? I think that you and I present, and I've seen people comment this before, oh, black cat, golden retriever, black cat, golden retriever. And I think people perceive me as black cat and you as golden retriever outwardly.
Yeah, but I think so. I've heard that said.
Because I think I have a more aggressive energy.
You have dark hair.
I have dark hair. I'm a little more blunt. I'm better with confrontation. But I think privately, you're much more black cat and I'm more golden retriever.
Yes. I mean, I definitely think that. I don't think of us as classically that at all.
No. I guess that's true.
But I get what you're saying because I think that you're very much a golden retriever wife guy. Like I am too. I mean, we're both like normally obsessed.
Yeah, we both love each other.
We love each other, of course. But I think like I am much more like to myself.
Yeah.
Like even in we tell each other everything. We're always talking, but I'm much more likely to just like keep it inside and talk it through myself. And I like forget to tell not just you, but anyone, anything, what I'm thinking about. Like I'm not always just saying what I'm thinking, especially when it comes to feelings and stuff. I also think I'm much more obviously introverted, but I also, and you said this when we were talking about it and I agree, I think I'm harsher.
Yes, Kendall's like a much harsher judge
Which
of
I don't
things
think
than
is
I
golden
am.
Retriever. I think you're much more with people. You're like, hey, give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm
Sometimes.
just like, I just more don't care. I'm like, well, benefit of the doubt. Why am I just don't really care. If I'm not close with someone, I'm like, I don't really feel the need to put any, I don't even know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really care enough to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, I think you have a colder energy than I do.
I think I have a colder energy.
In interpersonal interactions.
Yes, I'm more quiet.
You're more reserved.
Now, granted, this is compared to, we work with mostly we're hanging out with comedians.
Sure.
So I think like my version of reserved is very different. But I also think I've gotten more comfortable as I've gotten older, letting myself not speak when I don't want to talk or feeling like I have to fill the silence. That's something I'm really working on this year is like, I think I've always felt like in charge of making a conversation good. And I'm like, I don't need to be in charge of that. Someone can ask me a question. I don't need to ask 1,000 questions.
Absolutely.
So I'm coming more into my black cat energy, I would say. But I totally agree. I think we present more. I mean, I don't think either of us presents as a black cat, though, because I think we're both so... Well, no, but black cat, the golden retriever, the black cat is also obsessed with them. So I don't think it has to do with that. Because I think the classic like golden retriever black cat is Chris Pratt on Parks and Rec and April Ludgate. I think that's like the most black cat, and she's obsessed with him.
Yeah, it's giving like goth girlfriend.
Yes,
with like very very normal boyfriend,
and very like I'm upset. I love her so much.
Yeah.
I don't think about any, and I think it's also a connotation that it's kind of they're stupid. Like the golden retriever, it's like I'm blindly just obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with everything you do. You could do no wrong. Yeah. And so I don't think we're really either of those, but I definitely think I'm more black cat than you are.
Yes. Well, and it is funny that you brought this up because the biggest one that we got over and over and over again in this poll was Ben and Leslie from Parks and Rec.
Oh, I think I am more Leslie now, and you're more Ben.
Yeah. But to be honest, I don't really remember them that much.
Well, Leslie's very, you know why? I think that one's actually, that's a really fun one because they're both equally love each other, equally obsessed. Ben is much more realistic and I think is very, I haven't watched it in years, but I did love it for a long time. He's very by the books. But I think Leslie always has these huge ideas. Yeah. She's always like, what if we did this?
Yes.
But I think she also does those things. It's not like she's coming up with these random things. We should try this. She's always like, here's my huge dream. She's a big dreamer. And he is very successful, but is also like, I support whatever she does. And I feel like that's very you and I.
Yes. And I think that she has higher highs and lower lows, whereas Ben is more like even keel.
But that feels like more maybe me.
No.
You think I have you think I have lower lows?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Not right now because I'm too hungover to even be here, but in general.
You're right. I feel like I'm always really even keeled until I'm not. Which maybe is how a lot of people are. But I think you're more like, you're dipping like less deep and you're right, less high, but more often. I'm always even keel, and then I'm like, boom, you know what I mean? If you're watching, or if you're listening, I'm putting my hand to the ground. Or then I'm really
slapping
excited.
The ground. Yeah. And then she's touching heaven. The next one is Bob and Linda Belcher.
I've never seen.
You've never seen Bob's Burgers?
I know. And everyone always says that especially when I do Aunt Carol, my character I do, people say I sound
like
her.
Linda, yeah.
But I don't know.
I think I'm Bob and you're Linda.
Why?
Except, Bob is kind of a little more... I think Bob plays into his bit a little more, and his bit is kind of being like, "Oh God,"
and Linda's
like that kind of thing.
Excitable, right?
And Linda's very excitable. She's very goofy.
Yeah, that's like.
But I think they're both good parents, and they love each other very much.
That's sweet.
I think they're both actually good at like handling things when they need to. This is a hard one for me.
What?
I can't really decide. Megan and Graham from But I'm a Cheerleader.
Oh.
So this is Natasha Lyonne and Chloe Duvall. No, not for you, for the people at home.
Please, I was like, please, I watch it every other day.
For the people at home.
I don't think I'm Graham. Now, I have to preface by saying, am I in love with Graham? 100%. Am I in love with Clea Duvall? 100%. The character of Graham always made me eye roll. But she's supposed to be. It's like, I'm so alternative. Now, she is going to conversion therapy, so I do feel for her. But I think the way she treats Megan is annoying. Because I'm like, you obviously see that this cheerleader is being sent to a conversion camp. Yeah. So like you being really mean to her and being kind of like, oh, you think you're so popular? Oh, you're so straight-laced. It's like, obviously she has a lot of pressure from her family.
Let her live.
Now, granted, they're supposed to be in high school, which is hard to remember because Clea Duvall looks 30 years old.
So many, all of them look so old.
Yeah, like Melanie Linsky. I always do that. No, I was right. Melanie Linsky.
What did you think you were doing?
One time I was pitching a pilot that I was writing, and I was trying to use Melanie Linsky as like a fan casting. Here's the type she'd be. And I kept saying Monica Lewinsky, and the person that I was explaining it to was so sweet, but kept being like, so I'm not really understanding though. Like, what do you mean a Monica
and what's
Lewinsky
Monica gonna do?
And I was like, like kind of like quirky. And they were like, what?
It's so funny because you said Melanie Linsky, and then one side of your face twitched. And then you were like, that was wrong. And I was like,
because I immediately was like, I said Monica Lewinsky again. Anyways, they all do not look like they're in high school. Well, I guess Natasha Lyonne kind of looked like she was in high school, but
No, they all look older. I think the youngest looking one in the movie is RuPaul, and he's the coach.
I know. Well, but I think that I am nothing like Graham in that movie because I think she is kind of a masochist, right? Masochist?
Yeah.
Does that mean like you like bad things to your
Sure,
like?
yeah.
No, granted, I feel bad because she has a lot of reason to be. She's in a bad situation, but I think she's really kind of like. I guess I'm just like you're all in conversion therapy, so like, why are you hating on other people
Buddy
in
up,
conversion
yeah.
therapy?
Make some
Like
friends.
being like she's being so, or like she's pushing against this, or she's like not gay enough for me. I'm like, okay, like cut some people some slack. Also, like, Megan just got here. She literally just got here.
Give her a second. Let her breathe.
Yeah, she's still in a cheerleading outfit. Like, please. So I think I'm nothing like her because I think she's very negative and kind of, but I don't think you're like that either. I just think of the two, I think our dynamic is more like there. Like you're Graham and I'm Megan.
Yeah, I think I am generally a little more alternative than you.
But I also think even true to the story, like I think in the beginning, Megan feels so like she has to be this like, I'm a cheerleader and I'm so happy and I'm positive. And I think over the course of the movie, she kind of like chills out. I think that's very me. Like, I think I feel this pressure to be like, I'm happy and everything's great. And I like, that's a huge part of my personality that as I've gotten older, I start to be like, okay, I don't really want to be like that all the time. And, you know, playing more true to how I feel. So I think, I'm Megan and you're Graham.
That makes sense to me.
The one thing, can I tell you I hate about that movie?
Please.
Why is Clea Duvall's hair so greasy? Why?
Because that's part of the aesthetic.
No, that is horrible.
No, it's part of the aesthetic.
Honestly,
it's the time.
It is an inch from ruining the movie for me. I love that movie.
Kendahl.
I remember when I saw that movie, similarly, I was depressed when it was over.
Sure.
I remember crying when it was over. I've never been like, I was like, I want this movie to go on for 9 years.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we just don't have a ton of, you're like, oh, I've seen this now and I can't watch it for the first time again.
Yeah.
I loved it so much, but I kept being like, why is the hair like that? Why is the hair greasy?
I love it, unfortunately.
You think it's hot though? You love it because it's camp, or do you think if you saw her, you'd be like, I like that her hair looks like that, soaking wet?
In that scenario, yeah, I would. Sorry, I'm a teenager, and she's so all. I get it. You're an adult lady now looking at it with a wife who has incredibly clean hair, so that's different. So it's nothing to compare it to.
Today's episode is sponsored by Wayfair. If you're refreshing your home this year, do it with Wayfair. Wayfair is a one-stop shop for everything your home needs. Accent pillows, mirrors, a faux plant to brighten the living room, beds, mattresses, bed sheets, and towels for the whole family. Home, office, and kitchen essentials for working days and family dinner, all at amazing prices. Jordan and I love Wayfair and are actually at a point in our life where we are like, we need new furniture because we look around our house and we realize that we just have a bunch of things that friends have given us for free over the years while we were in our 20s. And we're like, wait, should we buy a piece of furniture? God forbid. Should we be adults and buy a piece of furniture? And of course, we go right on over to Wayfair. Wayfair lets you filter by design style, and their huge selection makes it easy to personalize any space. Get organized, refreshed, and back on track this new year for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. Today's episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Stop paying too much for wireless just because you always have. Mint Mobile is here to fix that. Same coverage, same speed, unlimited talk, text, and data without the inflated price tag. For a limited time, get 50% off a 3, 6, or 12-month plan, all on the nation's largest 5G network. I had no idea that I was overpaying for wireless until I saw what Mint Mobile had to offer, and I was very excited to say the least. So we love Mint Mobile over here. You can bring your current phone and number over to Mint. No long-term contracts, no hassle. Mint makes it easy with a 7-day money-back guarantee. Ready to stop paying more than you have to? For a limited time, new customers can make the switch to get unlimited premium wireless for just $15 per month. Switch now at mintmobile.com/wife. That's mintmobile.com/wife. Upfront payments of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for the 12-month plan required. Equivalent to $15 a month. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Over 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. Additional terms apply. See mintmobile.com.
Kermit and Miss Piggy.
Oh my God. I mean, it's so clear. You're Miss Piggy. and I'm Kermit.
I think people think it might be the other way around.
No
Yeah.
way. I am literally actually like Kermit, and you literally are actually like Miss Piggy. First of all, even just like in outfits,
Sure.
like I would be nude if I could. If
we're
I
doing-
could dress like Kermit, I would. I don't care about clothes. I really do think we should be nudists. I'm from an area where people are nudists, and I don't get it. I'm like, this is capitalism. Why are we wearing clothes? We all have the same stuff going on for the most part. And any shame we have around that is put on us, so we'll buy clothes. I'm like over it. I mean, unless you live like in cold areas, I get it, or really hot areas. But like, then just like wear an open like robe. I don't know. I'm just like, it's weird.
I know that it's cold, but just wear an open robe.
Well, or just wear it because you're cold. But like, I think then when you go back into your house that's warm, you should just take off all your clothes. First of all, hygienically, it's not good for my coochie to be so stopped up with underwear. I don't know. What do I say?
Oh, God.
It's not good to be so closed off. It's not natural.
You need lots of air circulation. I will say.
But I just don't get it. I'm like, what is the shame?
I just met a nudist.
Who?
I forgot to tell you this.
Wait, when?
The woman that did my wax.
Was she nude?
She was nude. No, she, like, outside of work, she's a nudist.
I love her also. Everything you've told me about her, I'm like, we need to hang out with her.
Well, so as you guys famously know, if you've been a fan of the pod for quite some time, you'll know that famously I went to a European wax center. They waxed me. They ripped a bunch of my skin off. I emailed them being like, hi, this is what happened. They didn't respond, and they just sent me a refund. And then continued to have contact dermatitis for like 3 years.
I mean,
So-
and it was bad.
It was bad. Kendahl had to rub an ointment on me twice a day. And as much as she loved that,
I miss it every day.
Tedious. And so I put it off. So finally I was like, you know what? I'm taking my power back in my own hands. I'm getting wax. I'm getting a wax. And I did it. And she was like, yeah, I'm a nudist. Because we were talking about, I was like, oh, how do you fall into this job of waxing? And she was like, I think you have to be a mix of personable but firm. You are assertive, so it seems like you know what you're doing, but you're also welcoming, and you have to be comfortable with nudity.
Yeah. I really think, because I really felt this many times. I'm not, like, the first time you're naked in front of someone, it is jarring because we're not used to it. But I truly, and I've experienced this with not just like lovers, I'm saying like with friends. I've had friends
lovers.
where it's like, I mean, my best friend Nicole and I, one time we were so close, we are so close, but we'd never been like really naked in front of each other. And then we did this movie shoot where it was kind of like, we both need to shower, not in the movie, but we were covered in like disgusting stuff. We had one shower and we were like, okay, let's just shower together. Within a half a second, you're over it.
Yeah.
Like it really is like that first moment. But I really believe if we all just were like no more clothes, it would take like 0.2 seconds for people to get over it. Now, granted, I'm sure the world they'd be complicated. Okay. I'm not really pitching this, but I could see myself loving being a nudist. I really could. I really think it's weird. And I'm not like that about most things, but I'm like, why are we wearing clothes? We have to spend so much money on clothes.
Sure.
The clothing industry is so bad for the environment.
Sure.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
So I would dress like Kermit. You love fashion, and I feel like one of your style inspirations is Miss Piggy.
I'm a diva.
You are. And I'm obsessed with you.
I love Miss Piggy. Yeah. I would like to think I'm able to read the room a little more than her, maybe a little more thoughtful.
But I do think she's loud and proud. And she says what's on her mind. And I think Kermit's just like, yeah, that's my wife. Like, I feel like all the time we'll be at somewhere and you're sharing an intense opinion. And I'm like, yeah, that's my wife.
We are somewhere and I'm sharing an intense opinion.
People, you have big thoughts.
So do you.
Of course. But I'm saying this is a positive.
No.
Something I love about you. It's like, we'll be out with friends and Jordan's like, this is what I think about this thing. And I'm like, even if sometimes I like don't really get it, I'm like, yes, yes, bitch, it is. Like, I just am like, I feel like I'm like your hype man in that way.
That's so funny.
Or like, I just back you up, but quietly. Like, if you have a problem with someone, even if I fully don't get it, I'm like, yeah, and I'm with her. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's Kermit and Miss Piggy.
I completely feel
because Miss Piggy's always
that.
like having drama with something, and I think I'm like. My problem is if you hurt my wife's feelings, you upset my wife, that's the problem. I don't care what her reasoning is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Jess and Nick from New Girl.
I'm definitely much more like Nick and you're much more like Jess, I think.
Tell me more about that.
Well,
because that's not what I would have guessed.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I feel more...
You know the show better than I do, to be clear.
I love New Girl.
Yes,
I'm always trying to
deferring
get
you.
Jordan to watch it.
Whatever you think is right, I'm sure is right.
No, I think it is one of those that's a mix because here's what I'll say. Nick is very bizarre in a way that I feel I am. Nick is like always doing he's writing a zombie novel. He's like just doing a new thing. He invented something that he gets excited about these things. I also haven't seen the show in many years, but he's just more kind of all over the place. Jess is more like, here's my job I have. I mean, she's kind of like she's very funny on this show. I don't want to call her the straight man, but she's the least like sketchy character on the show, I would say. And I think she's much more, she plans things. I mean, one of the reasons they break up is because she wants to make a plan for like life. And he's kind of like, I can't do that for you. We don't have that problem. But I think he's just more like, life could take me anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yes.
What I will say is I think he spirals a lot in a way that is maybe more similar to you. She's kind of like, calm down, everything's fine. You know what I mean?
Damn, I got all the bad traits.
No. I think the first one I said, he's kind of like, he's one of those characters, he's so charming. I think he's so funny in the show. Yeah. He's someone you don't want to date. He's like not, like, I don't really know if he's very sweet, which I think is like both of us, but he's very sweet, but I think he's not a life partner that's great. They make it work in the end, but I'm like, he doesn't have a ton of like incredible qualities for a life partner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Meredith Grey and Christina Yang.
That's a hard one.
It is.
Meredith Grey, it's so hard. I'm so bad at this. I'm like, well, neither of us, because we're not that smart. I'm just like, the thought of us being doctors, I'm immediately panicked. I'm like, no, we can't. I think that, I honestly don't remember enough. What do you think? I feel like my instinct is to say that you're Meredith and I'm Christina.
Wow, I feel the opposite.
I think you have a better head on your shoulders socially than I do. I think I get a little stressed and don't know how to handle things with interpersonally as much as you do.
I do understand that. I think I am less, not romantic, but like...
With me?
No, not with you.
Because you are more romantic than I am.
Okay. What? I'm being attacked? No, I think that you're more like...
Whimsical?
In your feelings a little bit than I am.
It's so hard. You know why? Because we're so, yes, but in certain ways.
Yeah,
it's like you're in your feelings about what you're in your feelings about. I'm in my feelings about what I'm in my feelings about. And I think what's nice is that each of us like can't relate. I'm like, I think we're always like that. I'm like, why would you be stressed about that?
Yeah.
And you to me about the things I get stressed about are like, why would you be stressed about that? You know what I mean?
It's a good balance. I think the problem I'm having is I'm like, what are the attributes of Meredith Grey?
And that's the actual problem.
Do you know what I mean?
It's kind of like it's giving vanilla. Now, what I will say is that I think that probably changes because I don't think, I mean, it's so impressive. It's like being a lead in a show for that long because it's like what a leading woman was back in, God, when did it start? Was it the 90s or early 2000s?
No way.
Early 2000s because it was, what's her name?
Me.
You were in it. I remember you were in it. You were
Katherine Heigl.
Katherine Heigl, and that's like early 2000s. But what was a leading woman and then is so different from what people want a leading woman now. So I'm sure she's full of personality now. I feel like in the beginning it was kind of just like, she's just a girl.
Yeah.
And neither
don't be
of us
wrong,
are
she's
giving.
Like cutie pie.
She's cutie pie, but that's like
she's
her
smart.
thing is kind of like, I'm just a girl. I don't know.
She's a Nepo baby.
She's the first original Nepo baby. I think I always think of Christina Yang. There's a scene, you guys, if you haven't seen it, there's an episode. And once again, God, Grey's Anatomy is like a blur because I watched it during the pandemic. You know how that goes. I watched like 800 episodes in 2 weeks when the world was ending, and I don't really, it's like bits and pieces I remember. But I remember there being a plot line that Christina really struggles when they have a family member that dies, and she has to tell them. And I related to that, where I was like, I couldn't be a doctor because I would not handle that well. I would be horrible. And I think
it's the only kind of doctoring I could do.
I think you would know exactly, you would just get, like, what does this person need from me? I think I would be so uncomfortable and I would be so afraid to overstep that I would be seen as very cold, which is how I've been in many situations in my life. I even think, like, we were saying this the other day, but like, you know, when someone has a baby and you're like so scared to make them uncomfortable about their baby, where you're like, okay, I don't want to be rude and not ask about your birth, for example. But I also don't want you to be
talk about that.
that I asked you about your birth. I want to not seem like I'm not asking to hold your baby because I'm not helpful, but I also don't want you to think I'm creepy for wanting to hold your baby. It's just like, and so instead I do nothing. And then I think it can come off cold. And there's a lot of internal panic. So I think if I worked in a hospital and I had to tell someone their kid died, I could see myself just being like, hey, I'm just going to let you know he's gone. And I'm
quitting.
Gonna go now.
I don't work here anymore.
Take your time. Goodbye. And they'd be like, why did she just tell me that as if she said my son's appendix was removed? Why is she acting so like nonchalant about it? So that's why I think that also you've just always been cooler. Like even
what?
No, I'm serious. Like, but for real, like I flounder in social settings. I always have. And now I think I'm good socially. Like I think I'm a social, fun person. But I more often than not will fumble what I'm saying and then panic and be like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Blah, 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 you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't do that. And I was even worse when I was younger. You, I feel like, have always just been in social settings. You're just chill. I think you could pull hotter guys than I could have. Like I feel like no, seriously. Because let's look at it. Like Christina's pulling, well, I don't even remember who
that one redheaded doctor, right?
I don't even remember. They date so it's so impossible to remember.
It's so impossible to remember.
But I could have seen you when you were younger, like pulling the hottest doctor, because you're just like cool. You also,
me?
I do think so, because I also think you have, and I mean this is a compliment. You were the ultimate I'm not like other girls when you were in high school. I guarantee it.
No.
Yeah, no, in a good way, because that's what was in. No, of course you're very nice. No, not in the way we use it now. Not like I'm not like other girls, like you were saying that. Not like other girls, like you didn't have female friends, but not like other girls because like you were not like other girls. Like you were a girl that guys were like, and maybe they said this, you don't know, but they were like, oh, I wish we could date because I want a wife just like you. You know what I mean? And I was not that. I was never going to be dating the hottest doctor. I was going to be dating the weird doctor that people were like, that's sweet.
You know, the weird doctor from high school.
Yeah, the weird we famously know. But do you know what I mean?
Yes, I understand what you're saying, and that's very sweet, and I love you.
You have the confidence to date the hottest doctor, too. I don't even think, if I saw a hot doctor, I would not even think about dating them, because I'd be like, the hot guy doctor's going to...
Why would someone hot not want to date you?
No, I think as an adult now, I think I mean like when I was dating men, which I didn't. That's my point. Like I didn't do it. Like I just like couldn't. I was like, no. And then I would just be like, I'll date someone who, my point is, so in any social setting like that, I'm not seeming cool. When we first started dating, you seemed much more cool than I did. It was very clear.
I think I was a little more relaxed than you.
I was clear I was nervous, and it was clear that I was overthinking a lot. It was clear that I needed to know what was happening at every given moment. And I think you were sweet enough to like lean into it and also let yourself do that, because you could tell I was nervous. But like, I think if I'd been chill, you could have been chill. I don't have that in me.
Okay, Kendahl, I know you want to talk about this one. This will be our last one, and then we can go home. Sorry, I'm so tired. Are you guys mad at me for being hungover?
What do you guys think?
Drop it in the comments if you're mad at me. That's one thing I really struggle with.
What?
Are you mad at me?
You know, but everybody does, and that's was like my goal this year. I was like, I don't care if people are mad at me anymore. No, I mean, I do. Like, I actually care deeply, but I'm trying to be like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares if everyone's mad at you? I do think it's a confidence. I was saying this a minute ago, but like a confidence that being married has given me. Sure. Obviously, I knew we weren't going to break up. We were very solid. But it is funny. Once we were married, I'm like, come at me. Try to come at me, because no one's ever tried to come at me also. Literally. But like the thought of someone being mad at me, now I feel more like, and then what? I go home to my wife. I'm just so like, I don't need anyone else to not, I mean, you're mad at me, I'm concerned because usually I was rude or something.
We were very rarely mad at each other. Waverly and Nicole from Winona Earp.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Someone wrote in.
That's very hard.
I've never watched this show.
I know who I want to be.
Yeah.
And I know who I am. And the answer is that I wish I was like Nicole Hott. I mean,
that's her name?
Nicole Hott. Isn't that fun?
Her name's Nicole Hott.
Come on. Haught. It's so funny. The town they live in is called Purgatory. This is why I just love shows like this. I'm like, you're having fucking fun.
You're having fun. You're
having fun. Her name's, it's incredible.
Nicole Hott.
This show really was, this is why I'm like, you have to watch it. Even if it's just like think of it as charity for me. Because I'm like, this really was huge. This was like 2015, 2014. It was a while ago.
Okay.
And not only the lesbian couple is in it the whole time.
Yeah.
Since episode 1, it's like the season 1 is like them getting together. They're together the whole time. They're so cute. They're so healthy. They like never have a problem, except one time when she's possessed, but that's like really not on her.
I will say that is one thing I like about Heated Rivalry. And these aren't like really spoilers, but if you're super sensitive, muff your ears. It's not just like nonstop gay trauma, bad things happening, them being bad or whatever.
Which is what I like about romance.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. I think as a gay person, it's very healing to read romances where it's kind of like a Hallmark movie. And you're just like, at no point am I afraid that something bad's going to happen. And even when we were watching Heated Rivalry, I remember at one point you went, oh my God, is he going to die?
Yeah.
If you watch it, you'll know at what point. And I turned to Jordan and I said, that's the beauty of this show and the beauty of romances. No, I can confidently tell you he's not going to.
So no one would ever die in a romance?
Not the main characters. God, no. I mean, no, people will die, but not the main characters. And rarely someone close to them. They're happy. They're supposed to be happy.
Interesting.
That's like, people talk about Seven Husbands of Evan Hugo. It's not technically a romance. To be considered a romance, it has to be in the romance section. It has to be, they have to have a happy ending. And I think as a gay person, I have watched so many movies and shows and where it is just so sad.
Gay people never get to be happy.
And that's what I love about romance books. It literally can't qualify unless there's a happy ending.
And what does a happy ending entail?
They get together and they have literally, there's a scene at the end, epilogues, like when you're formatting it. It'll be like the happily ever after. They usually contain a scene, not all of them, but at the end, it's the epilogue where they're just showing how happy they are. Everything works out. It's not even just their relationship. They both get their dream job. They both have better relationships with every other cast, like every other character in the cast. Everything is just 10 out of 10 at the end.
Wow.
And the art of it is like, how do we make people feel like, how is this going to work out? I think a good romance, I think a lot of romances, it's like, well, it's very clear. A good romance is like, how are they going to come back from this?
Yeah.
And they do. And that's just like what you enjoy is like, the whole time going, how are they going to make this work?
Yeah.
So I love that about it. What was I saying though? With Way Hot. That's what they go by. Waverly.
I've heard you say this. Yeah.
Waverly and Nicole Hot. Nicole is like a sexy cop. Now, that's what do you call it? Or what do you call it?
Not a double entendre.
What is it called?
An oxymoron.
Oxymoron. No, not a double entendre. An oxymoron, a sexy cop. No, thank you. But she's dressed in like a Western. It all feels very Western. She wears like a cowboy hat at parts of it.
Interesting.
So I wish I was like her. She's very cool. She's also like, she's cool. I haven't seen it in a long time, to be honest. But she, and Waverly at the beginning is dating a man. And I think so Nicole's kind of giving, I'm a lesbian. Like, I think there's even one part where she's like, when you guys break up, call me, And Waverly's much more very whimsical, very silly.
So who's who?
That's what I'm saying. I wish I was Nicole Hot, but I'm not. I'm Waverly, clearly.
So am I Nicole Hot?
Yes, you're definitely.
Nice.
I mean, I couldn't even be. I'm horrible in dangerous situations.
True.
Waverly's pretty naive. I would say like I don't think of myself as naive, but I think I'm very as I've gotten older, I guess better, but I think I'm impressionable. I'm excitable. Nicole Hot is not. Nicole Hot is also very loyal
I'm like
than you are. And I think there's even parts in the show I'm like, damn, like if you haven't watched it by now, you're literally not going to.
Yeah.
Like actually specifically with the show, you're not going to watch it. But if you are, I guess not for yours. But there's a part where like, and if you watch the show, you understand what I mean. I have absolutely no idea what's happening in the plot when this happens. Like this show's plot is impossible to follow. But there's a part where Waverly like basically is gone for like a year and a half in an alternate dimension. And she thinks it's been like 3 days, but it's been like a year.
Yeah.
When she gets back, Nicole Hot is like on her front porch with a rifle being like, I've been watching over your house for a year and a half. And I'm like, that's some Jordan Myrick shit. You would do that for me. If I disappeared into an alternate universe, you'd be like, I will stand in front of Kendahl's house with a gun.
And I love my friends.
Until she
I love
gets
my
back.
family. And I'll take care.
Yes, and she's very loyal. And I think Waverly's silly but they love each other so much the whole time. You should watch it. Just watch a compilation of the two. It's like lesbian history. It's like but it really is.
Fine.
I think in media, we're in a weird time where it's like, well, you're experiencing the history now because like
You've never watched The L Word.
dude, don't get me started. I know, and it's crazy.
Why don't you watch it? We have it.
No, I need to watch it.
Okay, so watch it.
I watched the first episode like 8 times. I'm like kind of like that one bored, but I need to. I should watch it. I don't know why I would love it. I need to just sit down and do it. It feels like the same way I feel about Game of Thrones. I'm like, do I have 9 years to sit and watch this?
You don't have to like follow the L Word and the same. Like Game of Thrones is hard because you're trying to be like, okay, who's who and he's here and she's with him and whatever. It's like too much going on. Whereas with the L Word, it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Because I've never even really seen it, and I still like I know the characters because it's just so a part of lesbian culture that I'm like, I know who's a bet. I know who's a who, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I need to do that. But I just think like things now are, I mean, heated rivalry is historic.
Yeah.
Like all these things are historic. So I'm like, sometimes you just throw something a bone. And I think Winona Earp is one of those things. You say, thank you for your service. I'll give you a watch.
I love it. If there was a couple that you had to pick that were most like on TV, is there one? The one that's the most
Tom and Jerry.
Because I'm always chasing you around with a big frying pan.
Yeah. Let me think. Do you have one?
No. I was really hoping you would have one and then we could kind of jump in on that.
I think I have one actually. I think we're a lot like Monica and Chandler from Friends.
That's one that people asked.
I think we're a lot like Monica and Chandler. I think
every way.
You are a lot like Monica. I mean, it's hard because this is really boiling us down to, but that's what a sitcom character is.
Yeah.
It's like Monica's whole thing is that she's neurotic and has like OCD.
Yeah, and she is a chef.
Literally, and like is a chef. And then Chandler's like obsessed with her and is goofy and like jokes all the time.
Okay.
And is like obsessed with her and is like stable for her and is very like he's very loyal and except that one. I hate a cheating plotline.
Sure.
Cut it. Bye. Boring. Nobody wants it. It ruins it. But he never cheated, to be clear, but there was just like rumors of it. I'm just like, nobody wants that. But I think that we are actually so much like them. I also think we have a relationship that's very romantic privately and very like, we love being together as partners, but I think we have a really strong friendship, which I think they have. Versus like, I think like Rachel and Ross, it's more, it's more like that's a couple.
Yeah.
But they're not like, I mean, I know they try to paint it this way, but I'm like, they're not giving besties.
Yeah.
Like, I really think Monica and Chandler are best friends.
Yeah. I agree.
Versus like, I think Rachel's best friend is Monica.
Yeah.
Even when she's with Ross. I think they are like each other's number one. Do you have one?
Who do you think? Well, I think you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head. Who do you think is the best TV couple of all time?
Oh my God. I mean, Lucy and Ricardo, maybe?
His name, I don't know how many times we have to say
Ricky
this.
Ricardo.
His name is not Ricardo.
I always call him Ricardo, but why do I do that?
I don't know.
Which is funny because her whole thing is being like,
Ricky, I'm home. Yeah.
Well, because I think in my head I go, Ricky's short for Ricardo.
And I understand that actually.
But also their son's name is Ricky.
Mm-hmm. Ricky Jr.
Which is confusing to me, which shouldn't be. That should be actually way easier for me to remember.
Yeah.
But for some reason I go, no, the son's name is Ricky. His name is Ricardo. And it's like, no, he's named after the dad.
That's like, so my grandfather was a Bill and my dad is a Will.
Confusing.
Same name, but different nicknames to, you know.
I think maybe they're one of the best of all time. I think they're weirdly very ahead of their time.
Yeah.
I liked them. I think they were like but they felt like friends. They felt like best friends. He felt like he really let her be her. And it felt similar, honestly, a dynamic to you and I, where it's like, we really neg each other and we act like we're annoyed with the other's like quirks. Like we're really, you do a really similar thing to like Lucy, you're like Kendahl, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I'm annoyed with her, but you're like, not actually.
That's
I
true.
think we have that. I think at the end of the day, we like love each other. Who do you think's the best couple?
I love, who do I love? Who's my favorite? It's so hard. There's so many. I mean, obviously we already said it, but Kermit and Miss Piggy are big ones.
That's a good one. I mean, they're really good.
Yeah, I think Liz Lemon had some really good relationships on 30 Rock.
That is a crazy take, Jordan.
Why?
Liz Lemon is like horrible at dating. What do you, like, that's her thing.
I know, but I think she had some
can't,
relationships
like,
that were
open up.
cute.
Kind of, but Liz Lemon is like literally her character is like she's not emotionally available enough to date.
I'm getting reprimanded.
You know who I like in that show?
Jack
Jenna,
and Avery?
Well, they're a good couple, but Jenna and the guy
Will
who's
Forte.
an impressionist of her.
An impressionist of her? He's a drag queen.
Wait, I thought he does like her. Doesn't he do like Jenna drag?
Yeah.
though? Okay, yeah, that's. Oh, I
I
guess
thought
he's
he
not
called an impressionist.
I guess I don't know a drag queen who's doing
No.
actor.
And you're not wrong. It just made me laugh.
But I think they're a good couple.
They're very in love. I love Tracy and his wife.
They're a great couple. We are similar to them in
We're
some ways.
very
the
similar
best
to Tracy and
parts
his
of
wife.
them.
We have the best
I
parts
have
of them.
An upsetting amount of similarities to Tracy in that show, which is a real hit for me.
And I do think I'm similar to Angie Jordan.
You are but I think, you know what's hard? I think that's because you've had a lot of influence from Angie Jordan. I think you watched that show and it really formed your sense
I said,
of
that's
humor.
the kind of wife I'm going to be.
Yes, and I think you are kind of like that.
That's fair.
You, though, did say a lot. You were like, I feel like you and I are a lot like ILYA and Shane, which I thought was so funny. I kept thinking, I was like, Jordan, that's so complimentary of us. Like, everyone is dying over how hot these people are. And you're like, wait, that's literally us.
I didn't say they looked just like us, even though they do. I just said that we have a lot of
fun. They have
similarities.
banter.
That's the thing. So often, and this is why I don't like a lot of romance, so often in things like that, the way that couples are depicted is just 100% like, they're either fighting or they're like, no, whatever. And I like it because they like joke with each other. They get irritated with each other, but then like get over it quickly. They make fun of each other. Like all those things, at least to Kendahl and I, are very real to our relationship. So I think it seems fun to see those things depicted.
Well, you got to find a good romance, but I think what you also have to remember, this is so bitchy of me, some people are not as funny as us. So I think sometimes you're like, this isn't realistic. And I'm like, I think sometimes like people are more serious in relationships than we are.
That's true. That's very true.
We'll talk too. We've had multiple friends. We've been like, well, you guys do like baby talk all the time. And they're like, no. People who've been together years, never did baby talk.
Or we're like, oh, you know when you like argue? And they're like, no, we never argue. And Kendahl and I are like,
or like, you know what? People don't debrief with their partners. I think a lot of people do, but that's crazy to me. Like we'll be like, I'll talk to a friend. I'm like, well, you probably told your husband about that after. And she's like, no, we didn't talk about that. I'm like, something that crazy at the bar happened and you didn't tell. I mean, when you get home, I go, tell me everything.
Mm-hmm. No,
tell me.
What do you
Everyone
actually
was
say?
there.
What's the first thing you say when I get home?
I don't know. What do I say?
Did anybody talk about me?
Did anyone talk about me?
Did anyone ask about me?
Say?
Did anyone talk about me?
What do people say? And you always like, yeah, everybody said, hey. Everybody said, how's she doing? I guess she walked in as a unit. How's she doing?
How's she doing?
And that's all I want to hear. No, but I think some people are more serious with their partner. They're just kind of like, we're dating. We see each other. But versus I think we have much more of a friendship. And I think they had that. But I think that's very queer.
I think it's very queer.
It's very
as well.
gay to be besties with. I think straight people totally have it. But I think it's like, I think like you're my wife and you're the love of my life, but you're also like one of my girlies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I talk to you the same way. Like when I call my best friend Nicole, I'm yapping the same way that I yap with you. I think a lot of people, as like men have gotten better, they've been a little more, feminist men, and we've gotten some.
We're breeding them better.
Yeah, exactly. I think people have that with their husbands, but I am always surprised when they don't. But I totally get that. And I'm reading a book right now where it's like the way they talk to each other. It's just like every 2 seconds they're like, and if you're not ready to speak on that, you can let me know, and I want to take space for that. I'm just like.
Who talks to their partner like that?
I'm tired. And I have, like, of course, but I'm like, have a little fun.
Yeah.
Have a little fun. Neg each other a little bit.
But that brings up a good point that you will do literally anything to not finish that book about the Donner Party I got you for Christmas 2 years ago.
Well, it's not necessarily a happy read, is what I'll tell you. And weirdly, I think I started thinking of it as a Christmas book where I was like, well, I'll read it around the holidays, which is so funny. It's about people who get snowed. I mean, you know what the Donner Party is, and they have to eat each other because they're so cold. Why am I like, that's a holiday book? I actually really like the book. It's also, this is what I told you, I've read a lot of it. It's not like a story. I mean, it's a story. I already know the story, though, how it ends. So it's not like I get to the end of the chapter and I'm like, what is going to happen next? So I think that's what usually, like, I love reading it, but I'm never like, I got to get home and read my Donner Party book. Which honestly, if I was like that, that'd be a red flag.
Interesting.
That would be a red flag. Nothing's more fascinating to me, though. You know that.
Well, that's why I got you this book for Christmas, because you're so interested in the Donner Party. So I was like, great, I'll get you this book. And it just sits on your bedside table. And then you just start a new book and you start a new book and you never finish this Donner Party book.
I think the Donner Party, we've talked about this before, but wherever you grow up has their little bit of history that
sure.
you think everyone knows.
Yes.
And I felt very lucky because, this is horrible, but the Donner Party was ours. Like, that was right where I grew up.
The Donner Party was ours.
Well, that was the thing.
That was ours.
It was right. I mean, we were where the Donner Party happened.
Yeah.
And I feel lucky in the sense that it was really interesting. Like, that's like a good one.
Sure.
Where you're like, because you're like in 4th grade, you're never learning about anything interesting. And all of a sudden your teacher's like, and then they started eating each other. And you're like, excuse me?
Hello.
I mean, that's like the first, I'd never heard about anything like that. When you're in 4th grade.
Cannibalism?
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
I haven't heard even about murder. You're so young that it's like, you don't hear anything like that. And then all of a sudden, and I remember we learned about the Donner Party the same month we learned about nuclear weapons. I was like, I'm actually tapping out on Earth, guys. It was a lot. But it's a very interesting one. Some people just have like the Liberty Bell or something. And you're like,
true.
No hate to the Liberty Bell. I'm just
We
like,
have the Fountain of Youth. Ponce de Leon.
not as fun though, right?
I don't know.
As a story about a family who gets trapped and has to eat each other.
I
That's
guess
good
it depends
TV,
on your
honey.
definition of fun. I can't believe they haven't made a Donner Party TV show.
We got to get you home. Thank you all
What's going on with me, you guys?
No, you actually are fine. Do I
seem wild?
You don't seem wild. You don't seem anything. You're doing a great job. I can see in your eyes you don't feel good.
I feel like I'm going to watch the episode back and be like, I seem like I'm high on drugs.
No, you don't seem high.
I'm not, to be clear.
But also, you're fun when you're high.
Kendahl, I've never been high. Thank you again for watching this podcast. As you know, we are completely independently created, produced, made, and Kendahl and I do all of that with money from our own pocket that we get from doing the show, and we put it back into the podcast. So if you like the podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, join our Patreon, follow us on social media, do whatever you can to stay involved because it really helps.
Rate and review us. It's truly so appreciated. Thank you all for being here. And comment down below what characters from TV shows you think Jordan and I are like.
Or which one you and your partner identify with most closely.
I love it. All right. Thank you, guys.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Bye.